Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Rob with the Campbell Chronicles, and here on this channel, we talk about all things family, travel, and Disney. Lately on this channel, we've been doing a little special episode series called Freaky Fridays, leading up to Halloween, where we talk about all things Halloween. Let's get started into today's subject. We're going to talk a little something about one of the most favorite and beloved spooky attractions of all of Disney parks. That's right. Today we're going to talk about 13 secrets about Disney's Haunted Mansion. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let us know what you think about the Haunted Mansion down below. I'm going to tell you right now, it's one of my favorite rides out of all parks, out of all times. I love it. Both parks, Disneyland and Magic Kingdom, have a great Haunted Mansion. I love both of them for what they are. So let's go ahead and get started with our 13 secrets about Disney's Haunted Mansion. One little detail, remember, Disney rides, they tell a story. It's all about the details. One of the things that you might not know about the Haunted Mansion, you know that part after you're through the attic, you go down into the graveyard? You know that part where your doom buggy spins around and tilts you back? You're actually dying. That's right. You're actually dying on that ride. That's supposed to symbolize you dying, going back into your grave. And I think that's pretty cool. Like they incorporate that, and people don't know that. They may just think, oh, they just want you to look up at the trees and the crow. No, you're supposed to be dying. That's kind of cool. Number 2, Bob Gurr was one of the lead Imagineers on the Haunted Mansion, and they are having a hard time coming up with how they were going to have these ride vehicles and how it was going to work. So the story goes, Bob Gurr was in one of the brainstorming meetings like they do, and they were just sitting around just thinking about how they're going to get these vehicles to work and what kind of motion they needed. And Bob Gurr was playing with an apple on there, and he was just kind of moving it around the table, and it just kind of hit him. And then he just, we need this. I mean, the ability to rotate, to spin. I mean, obviously this is a Galaxy's Edge thermal detonator thingy, but if this were an Apple, this is what we need it to do. And so that's kind of how the inspiration for Doom Buggies came about. Number 3, we all love that floating head of Madame Leota, and just you don't really get Haunted Mansion unless you have the floating head of Madame Leota. Well, Madame Leota, the face that was in that floating head, was actually modeled after a gal named Leota Toombs, who worked on the Haunted Mansion as one of the costume makers there. She wasn't the voice, however. The voice, however, was voiced by none other than Eleanor Audley. That's right, you had the same voice for Cinderella, Evil Stepmother, and Maleficent, and Madame Leota that's voiced by the same person. But Leota Toombs, the face actor for Madame Leota, she was actually featured later on as the hurry back, hurry back. That's actually Leota Toombs' voice right there. So that's kind of cool. They were able to get her back later on. Number 4, kind of cool fact here. Do you know that organ in the big ballroom area, the dining room? That's actually an organ that they used on set for 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea in Nemo's submarine. That's kind of cool. I like that. Reusing props. Hey, that's awesome. Okay, so now that you're down into the graveyard area, you know those statues, the singing statues, the one that sing? If you listen for that deep voice, that's actually the voice of Ravenscroft. If you're not sure who that is, you know Kellogg's has that Frosted Flakes with Tony the Tiger that goes, "They're great." That's Ravenscroft. He's actually modeled, and the projection actually kind of looks like Walt Disney. It's not, but it looks like Walt Disney. But that's kind of cool. They have him voicing over that statue there as well. For number 6, have you ever heard that term, "it's not over till the fat lady sings"? Well, that's why they placed the opera lady towards the end of the ride there. Towards the very end of the graveyard, as you're exiting into the mirrors with the hitchhiking ghosts, you'll actually see an opera lady singing an opera, hence the term, "it's not over till the fat lady sings." For number 7, as you're getting off the ride, you'll notice some stone overhead. That actually used to be stone, but too many people were getting injured on it and bumping their heads and whatnot, and so they actually changed that and made it into a rubber stone. That's right, go ahead and tap on it, feel it. You're going to be able to feel rubber. It's a hard rubber, but it's rubber nonetheless. And then for number 8, the Hatbox Ghost is one of my favorite characters in all of the Haunted Mansion. Over at Disney World, yeah, he doesn't really make an appearance except for in photos, but in the Disneyland version of the ride, the Hatbox is right as you come out of the attic there. He's placed in that brilliant special effects that they used to get his face to go into the box and come back. It's pretty cool. This was an Imagineering feat though. Like, they had to overcome a lot, and when they first had the idea, it just wasn't well executed, so they decided not to even go with it. Until 2015, they were actually finally able to get it reimagined and properly displayed. Did you know that they got their inspiration for the building, the Haunted Mansion over in Disneyland? They got it from an actual antebellum style mansion that is exactly 999 miles from Baltimore. And for number 10, the legendary voice actor once again makes his appearance. Paul Frees is your ghost host. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the haunted mansion. You know that guy? He's also over in Pirates Ride and a couple other places, but Paul Frees just has that very good voice acting. I love it. I love that voice. So did you know that this ride, this attraction I should say, was actually originally meant to be a walk-through attraction? They soon abandoned that idea because it was supposed to be like the Museum of the Weird, as Walt called it. But before it went to the Doom Buggy, it went from a walking ride to actually a water ride, and then to the Bob Gurr Apple design. So they kind of had this evolution of concepts behind how it was going to be built and how it was formed. And I think of course, they made the right decision. Now for number 12, so did you know that there's actually a real bullet hole in Disneyland's version of the Haunted Mansion? If you go through the ballroom, you look up on the back, there's some dueling ghosts shooting. A long time ago, before security got really heavy, somebody brought a gun and actually shot in there. So that's a real bullet hole. They've cleverly kind of made it into like this spider web looking deal. So it's pretty well hidden. But there's a real bullet hole in the Haunted Mansion. And now for number 13. Over in Disney World's Haunted Mansion, it's been known to add a tombstone anytime something goes out of style. Well, did you know that when they took out Mr. Toad's Wild Ride out of Disney World, they actually put a Mr. Toad's tombstone in there as well? That's kind of cool. Just a good way to commemorate, but it's a good place for it to go at the same time. So it works out pretty well. That's gonna about wrap it up for us today, guys. Let me know what you think about this whole list of 13 secrets about the Haunted Mansion. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Are any of these new to you, or are you hanging on to a secret yourself about the Haunted Mansion? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and remember, adventure is out there.